Hey guys, Civilord here, back again with another action figure review, and today we'll be continuing our looks at the Mythic Legion's All-Stars 6+ wave, with quite possibly my favorite Ogre Scale figure in the Life of the Mythic Legion's line. I know, I love me some Azahazar and some Articulation, maybe even some others, but I gotta be honest with you, this thing is freaking awesome. So, with that being said, this of course brought to us by the fine folks over at Horsemen Studios. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at all good old Berodach has to offer in terms of accessories, starting off with a pair of swappable gauntlets. Sounds like a really lame band name, but he has these. And I'm debating on seeing if I can use these on another figure, because a lot of the older Ogre Scale figures have the same gauntlets. So maybe I can swap these onto there, or, you know, if you're doing ye old Cosmic Legions into a Mythic Legions with characters like Kragnar, or possibly even what's his name there? Scourge. Sounds like you're saying Scourge and burping at the same time. These could come in handy. They are Articulation gauntlets, I believe, originally. So, there is that. We also get a Articulation sword, funny enough. No flame effect, and I got the VBTS exclusive dragon dude. What's his name? Stavros, the Unwavering. He doesn't come with a flame effect either. That kind of sucks. I feel like it takes away from that sword a bit. One thing we do get that's kind of surprising is the Nate Barch shield with the tusks. Now, I will say, I didn't really have success getting the tusks on the Nate Barch shield, but this one, I managed to get them in there, and they're not, like, falling out. Same with the handle. It actually goes in there pretty snug, and it's not all loose and floppy. So I think the Horsemen have definitely made some improvements to this shield piece, but I will tell you, these tusks are tough to get in there at first. You really gotta shove them up under these grooves in the face on the front of that gnarly looking thing, and push down, and then they'll be nice and secure, which, you know, works for me. But other than that, that's all you get for accessories. I really wish this body had some alt hands maybe, but I have bags upon bags of alt hands, so it's no big deal, I guess. But bringing him a little closer, I'm going to pop his head off, actually. I'm going to pop his horns off first. He's got the curved, I want to say these are in that Nate Barch Ogre Scale accessory set, or half giant accessory set. And then we could just pull this thing off, I think. Yep. Pull this off so we can see the head underneath there, which is not the easiest thing to take off. Let me just put this guy here. We'll take a close-up look at this guy's helmet first, because he is a gnarly looking customer. Holy cow, that is a cool helmet. But I'm sure one thing a lot of you guys want to see on this body specifically is, if I can get it off here, should be able to. The Sir Ukjak skull head. Granted, I wish this thing had a hinged jaw, but oh well. So let's pop it on this neck. Oop! Pop one of his pauldrons out. Doing that. There we go. There we go. Feels like a ball peg's bigger on this guy. What the heck? And then we'll put this crazy bone cage back on. And I gotta tell you, seeing that skull head contrasted against, let me hold this down, Seeing the skull head contrasted against all that darkness is pretty sweet. That is a good look. If you wanted to have Berodach unhelmeted, I'm guessing that's why they gave you this head, because I don't think Jack actually dies, so I would just assume this is Berodach's alt head. It just came with another figure early. But yeah, that looks really cool, man. Dadgummit. Now I'm torn. Do I use this head on him, or do I rock the helmet? I'm probably going to rock the helmet. I'm not kidding. Put that back on. I will say, like my Sir Ookjack, one of his pauldrons is a little looser than the other one, but that's not the biggest deal. Ugh. There we go. And we'll leave the accoutrements off for right now. But, at any rate, as far as his articulation goes, his head will look up and down, it will tilt side to side, and look side to side. Standard ogre stuff. He does actually have a separate neck, because of the armored torso, so that's cool. Shoulders will hinge up and down. Nice kind of ratchety feeling joints there. He does have swivel forward and back. He's got a single jointed elbow. That gets you about that much. It will rotate as well. He has swivel hinge wrists that work just fine. Wrong hinge for holding stuff, but the joints work fine. Torso gets decent range back, as well as a little bit forward. Not too bad for a big guy. Can also rotate there. If I'm not mistaken, these are Arachagor pauldrons too, aren't they? He does have tilt, but it's kind of hard for me to get to. But yeah, there you go. You can see it's there. It's definitely there. He's got hips that kick forward. Kind of pushed out by his belt there. That's Ookjack reuse. They'll kick out. He's got a thigh cut up in there. He's got a single jointed knee. Very tight on this guy. He's got a swivel below the knee. He's got a swivel at the ankle with a hinge, as well as a rocker. And I think he might have some peg holes at the bottom of his feet. I'm not 100% on that. He's a bigger guy. I think he does, though. I'm pretty sure all the Horsemen figures, except for like the trolls and the horses, have peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So you could throw him on a stand if you have to. I think he feels a little bit more solid than Ookjack. I think he comes with more stuff than Ookjack. I mean, he's got the sword and the shield. He's just like a big, evil-looking knight guy. I almost feel like he should have come like a skull hammer, but you know, beggars can't be choosers, I guess. As far as this thing, look at this craziness here. He's got like this crazy shroud of bones, almost like some Hordak looking thing on the back. He's got some horns sticking out here. He's got the skull down here. All these rib pieces and bone pieces. This thing is nuts, dude. There's like more sculpted paint on this than like a whole wave of Marvel Legends. Ain't that something? But snapping this on. This does stay on a little better than the Sir Ookjack piece. Like, it is not nearly as floppy as that one. So if that bugged you before, you're really going to love this guy. But, you know, it isn't perfect still. It could be better. But for what it's worth, it's better than the other guy. So there's that. How do I have these? I think that's probably how. Yes, it is. Try to flip the horns around on mine. I think in the package they're on opposite sides, which you could have them however you want, but I like them kind of pointed back like this. Looks cooler this way. Kind of have them at an angle. Sticking out to the side there. I definitely see someone like He-Man going up against this guy. If I can enunciate here. Let's say he's got a bit of a forward lean. Kind of fix that. Ugh. There we go. He's not leaning forward. I don't think, anyways. Yeah. This figure's freaking awesome. I love this guy. He is definitely a standout in the wave for me, anyways. But I will say another thing. These gauntlets, if you put them on the right way, where this piece isn't like flat across the front, you won't be able to lower the arms all the way. I'm pretty sure they come reversed, but if you want to put them that way, fine, but you won't be able to straighten the arms out all the way like I have here. But if you do it backwards or flip them around or whatever, you could straighten the arms out. So basically put the left one on the right side and the right one on the left side. And yeah, you can straighten the arms out. It's a nifty little hack there. So, you know, the more you know, I guess. So with that being said, it's time now that we move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is good old Berodach alongside Sir Ukjak, who's clearly been defeated, hence why he's got the skull head, as well as Berodach's itsy bitsy teeny weeny, definitely not a yellow polka dot bikini sister, Bluelith, from the Necronominous wave. Both of these figures, actually, are from the Necronominous wave. But Bluelith is allegedly the twin sister of Berodach. How on earth, or wherever Mythos is located, is that scientifically possible? Are Necronominous' children actually, you know, biologically related to him? Are they just people he's brought back from the dead, and he just so happened to bring back Bluelith and Berodach at the same time, hence why they're twins? Like, what's the mother look like? What does Mrs. Necronominous look like? How could she push this little thing out and then push out this big thing at the same time, no less? I get that babies are small at birth, but these are the stupid questions I'd be asking Eric Treadway about, not, where's Otho? So, there you go. By the way, he's probably coming this year if tariffs aren't as big of a problem as they have been. So, you know, you shut up about that already. Moving these two out of the way, though. Let's center Berodach here. There we go. I'm surprised that gauntlet's looser than this one. That is interesting. Either way. Now that we have Berodach somewhat centered, let's bring in our two regulars. Mythic Legion's brother Manibulith. Of course, it's Mythic Legions. You nincompoop. Who is just absolutely dwarfed. And the infamous 11th Spawn, who is of course going to be dwarfed because freaking Berodach is big and awesome and scary looking. I mean, seriously. Do you want to mess with this guy? I sure as heck wouldn't. But with that being said, time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and if you haven't guessed it by now, you need to just click off this video, go over to Big Bad Toy Store, pre-order yourself good old Berodach here, because I feel that everyone deserves to have a Berodach in their collection. If everyone on the face of planet Earth had a Berodach, I think the world would be a much better place. Is that a ridiculous statement? Of course it is, but that should show you how excited I am to finally have good old Berodach here, because he is freaking awesome. He's metal AF, And I don't care if anyone's got a problem with me overhyping this figure or not. I think he's freaking fantastic, and you should get yourself one ASAP. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later.